Hello everybody. In my lecture I would like to give two examples how to combine the old and the new. So the use of symptoms in the repertory and the use of the systematic approach, which has been developed in the last decades. I think it has been a very important step for homeopathy to go on from just purely empiric science to forming a system of classification, using all the information that has been collected over the last 200 years, from toxicology, proving clinical experience, and then relate it to the systems of classification we know from the science of nature, like physics, chemistry, biology. So the Dutch homeopath, Dr. Jan Scholten, he did some pioneering work on minerals and the use of the periodic table in homeopathy. And you all know Dr. Rajan Shankaran, who developed the groundbreaking concept of kingdoms, miasms, subkingdoms, and families, and he related it to the discovery of the sensation level. At one stage of this development, some people thought repertory was no more needed. This may be true in some cases where we can go directly to the source of a remedy which is not represented in our materia medica. But in most cases in our practice, we arrive at well-known and proven homeopathic remedies by the new systematic approach. And we can confirm it then by repertory and materia medica. My point of view is not either using repertory or using the system, either using the new or the old approach, but we can combine the old and the new. Or we can even switch from one to another in our case analysis. So go back and forth, use the repertory, then go to the systematic approach, and then go back to the repertory again. That's what I'm going to show you in the two examples now, how to use the traditional approach and new systematics rather as complements and not as alternative approaches. So the first case I'm going to show you, or I'm tell you about, because we're not having videos, it's a case of an aggressive behavioral disturbance in a 5-year-old child. Although we will focus on the child, the history of the mother is also important to understand the child. This applies in general, but in particular in this case you will see that's very important. The mother came first to me, and later she brought also the child, so I took first the case of the mother. She at that time was of the age of 36, working as a medical secretary, and she came first to my clinic because of a migraine, back pain and sleep disturbances. But her main problem in the course of the case taking turned out to be alcoholism. She had 2 withdrawal treatments and was even in a closed institution for 6 weeks. Because of her problems, she had lost her job, she had lost her flat, and she had even lost the right of custody for her child a year before she came. And at present, when she came to the case taking, she is fighting with the Youth Welfare Office for the right of education of her child. And she is compelled to see all kinds of experts, therapists, social workers, every now and then. And about that she said, somehow I've got trapped and they won't let me off. So she is under tremendous pressure because of this. And when it gets too much, she completely loses control of her temper. She becomes very aggressive, even to this therapist and social workers, which of course causes new problems for her. As a child, she says she had a violent temper, and at the same time she was affectionate and clinging of her mother. Her father had been a gambler, and she had adored and at the same time feared him because he sometimes beat her up. As a teenager, as she said, she used to alternate between lust for life on the one side and boredom and gloom on the other side. So she starts many things and quickly gives them up. It is always either or, either very excessively doing one thing or not at all, nothing at all. So somehow she seems to live according to the pleasure principle. She says, I won't do a thing which I'm not interested in. And I care only for my own problems. Since I have been 17, there were all these dramas of love. I always feel attracted to good-looking, powerful and self-assured men of a macho personality, but I'm very clingy, and that is why my relationships invariably fail and leave me suffering very badly. Whenever I'm deserted by a man, I completely withdraw for a long time and I won't see anybody.